Hi, my name is Adam Dicker, and the first thing I want to say is how excited I am to be part of the America's Virtual Chamber of Commerce and Industry community. I'm also going to be a coach in the Biz Dev and Sales and Marketing Committee, and I'm really looking forward to that and meeting all of you there. To all the entrepreneurs, business owners, and professionals here, it's a pleasure to connect with you. For those of you who don't know me, I'm the former executive vice president at GoDaddy, where I spent years helping businesses grow their online presence and succeed digitally. Today, I work with companies to help them generate more leads, improve website conversions, and use AI and automation to grow smarter and more efficiently. One thing I've seen over the years is companies spend heavily on paid advertising and they don't take advantage or optimize the existing traffic or website that they have. You should be getting most of your traffic and leads and opportunities from your website, about 70 to 80%. In reality, your website should be the best salesperson working 24/7 to convert visitors into customers. That's where I come in. I help optimize your websites, improve organic traffic performance, implement those tricky AI tools and with automation, and build systems that reduce dependency on expensive ad platforms like Google and LinkedIn, while increasing your lead generation and customer engagement. My goal is simple: help businesses sustain their growth, increase conversions, and make your marketing work harder. So if you're part of the network and looking for ways to generate more qualified leads, improve your online presence, optimize your website, or leverage AI in your business strategy, I'd love to connect and learn more about what you do. Thank you again for this opportunity to introduce myself, and I look forward to meeting you all shortly.
I'm Mel Blackwell, the president of Blackwell Media Group, and I'm a proud member of the AVCCI. Joined recently and very, very supportive and excited about that. As president of Blackwell Media Group, basically, I'm a retired corporate fixer. For 35 years, I've worked in global companies, domestic US companies, to help boards and C-level teams try to figure out how to solve complex business riddles. In doing that, I actually decided to hang up my cleats because 35 years is a long time. I deployed behind enemy lines. I did not go in as a consultant. I took a full time role because I loved working with the teams. I loved building the teams, and I liked the smell of napalm, And so I worked in those different stints for 2 to 6 years, and in kind of graduating from that world now, I do keynote speaking at major conferences, at annual retreats for corporate teams, and kind of a hybrid of coming in to speak to a large crowd or even a small room, and then rolling up my sleeves and coaching and helping a team solve a specific complex riddle. In doing all of that, what I realized, I wrote a book called Uncommon Sense: How to Fix Your Workplace Culture in the Wild West of Business. In doing all that, I realized, reflecting back, for about a year, I wrote the book that I've been working on for 20 years. And when I finally said, all right, I'm going to write this thing, I realized almost everything I did was culture. And so I am somewhat of a culture architect. I've had a reputation of being very plain spoken. What you see is what you get, funny. I like to have fun, but pretty serious. And I can do some really complex, brutal stuff, whatever it takes to protect the culture and the good people. And so that's what I do now. I do the speaking and I work with people. Don't even be embarrassed. It's like, Mel, we have this really complex riddle we're beriddled by it. I'll come in, roll up my sleeves, and we'll slay that thing. So that's what I do, and I'm looking forward to it. And I highly recommend everybody support Kevin and the AVCCI.
Hi, I'm Stacy Simbrom. I am a member of the AVCCI. I am also one of the leads of the Women in Business Committee and the Health and Wellness Committee. I run a company called Reflection Project. I am a coach. I am an integrative wellness coach. And what that means is I work with individuals who want to optimize their lives, do better with their wellness, do better in their relationships, and feel better about themselves and the world that they live in. I take an integrated approach, which helps you to learn how to leverage your three centers of intelligence, which is your brain, your logic, your emotions, and your body, which is your intuition. I bring several different modalities into this work. I've been doing this work for about 15 years now, and I would look forward to working with you and collaborating with you in this space. If this sounds like something that you would like to learn more about, please contact me either by phone or by email. Thank you very much, and I look forward to meeting with you soon. Bye-bye.
Hi, everyone. My name is Christy Brink, and I'm the owner of Lux Escapes by Christy, personal travel planning, and the co-chair of the Women in Business Committee. I'm a passionate traveler and work closely with my clients to plan personal, curated itineraries around the world. I research the best value, work with local experts around the world, and provide convenience and support so you can travel more and plan less. I am relationship driven, so it's important to me to get to know my clients so I can deliver the best travel experience with each trip. If Women in Business resonates with you, please join me as we work to provide education, inspiration, and support for all women that join. I look forward to getting to know you all. Thank you so much.
Hello, I'm Suzanne Beck. I'm the sales manager at Preferred Events, and I'm a proud member of the Americans Virtual Chamber of Commerce, and I'm excited to be here. At Preferred Events, we are the preferred choice for your event rentals throughout the New York metropolitan area and beyond. Whether you're planning a corporate event, a charity walk or run, a fundraiser or gala, a festival, school event, or private celebration, we provide the rentals and the support needed to bring your event to life. Our inventory includes tents, chairs, linens, staging, flooring, fencing, structures, tables, and so much more. What truly sets us apart is the commitment to customer service and helping our clients create successful and memorable events. We work with corporations, nonprofits, schools, municipalities, and event professionals, and we'd love the opportunity to learn more about your upcoming events and what you're looking to do. If you're planning an event and need a reliable rental partner, please reach out. I look forward to connecting with fellow AVCCI members and finding ways we can support one another's success. Thank you for watching, and I hope to meet you soon.
Hi, I'm Tony Lucidi. I am the CEO and owner of Lucidi Technical Solutions, and I'm also a founding member of the AVCCI Tech, AI, and Cybersecurity for Business Committee. My company is basically a small consulting firm where I offer fractional CIO work. I help companies with their digital transformations into predominantly how to utilize the existing software they already have to help make improvements to their costs, make improvements to their processes, and really try to get them to utilize more efficiently the software they already have. Most small businesses, medium businesses, they don't have tech teams. They don't have a CIO. They may have an MSP or a vendor that can help them, but generally speaking, they don't have someone on staff that helps them with their technical decisions who has the experience that I have. I have over 35 years experience in technologies. Started with application development, website, mobile. Then I reached out into marketing. Then I branched out into business, and now I own my own company. I'm going to really highly recommend that you all join the Tech, AI, Cybersecurity, and Business Committee, because technology covers a multitude of industries. It's across the board. You can never go wrong by joining a technology committee that will help you basically determine and help you navigate the difficult natures of technologies. If you just look at AI in general, How many of you are trying to get AI implemented? What do you do? How do you do it? This is where this committee will come into play. I think it's a great committee, and I look forward to you joining us and becoming a member of AVCCI.
Okay, hi. This is Anthony Buonaspina, CEO and founder of LI Tech Advisors. I'm co-chairing this basic committee. It's the AVCCI, Business Strategy and Innovation Committee. With Chris is chairing it. He's joining shortly, and basically, this is basically to drive strategic growth initiatives, innovation opportunities, operational efficiency improvements, and long-term competitive positioning of this, for this organization. And the first meeting is basically introductions and so on. Also, the goal is not to overwhelm people with the structure and so on, but basically also the objective is to establish, what we're doing, create excitement about this organization, and as well as also define our purpose. Show that which this is definitely different than a normal chamber committee, and we also want to get members engaged early. We want to identify what members actually care about, also, and cover those things. We want to establish like a momentum for the next 6 to 12 months, and we're going to need input from the members, of course, to see what is basically the needs at the moment and so on. And we'll be able to bring in experts and so on to regarding the cover those items, and to make this something that is not just conversational, but also it's strategic and valuable, which every business here on Long Island needs right now. We need some direction and so on, which is the best, what works, what doesn't. Especially in the world of AI right now, a lot of questions. Cybersecurity, a lot of questions. And again, from a business strategic and innovation, it's what do we need to do now to safeguard our businesses? Since I'm an IT guy, of course, I'm very AI centric. And a lot of businesses out there are either going to embrace AI, do it right, or get crushed by the wave. So we got to make sure that these type of committees and so on, we're going to be covering topics that are important as far as like to make sure that things get said and done and are timely, so that we can give you direction. But again, we need input from the audience, from the members, and if you want to drop any topics or questions in the chat, all right, I'd really appreciate it, because that's what it's all about. We'd like to, get an idea from the members themselves, what topics they'd like to have. Okay, we got a question already. Like, okay, what AI skills would be most important for our workforce over the next few years? Good question. It's AI right now. I mean, looking 3 years down the road, it's like I need a crystal ball, because there's things changing so rapidly. This is not 20 years ago, even 10 years ago, where I could forecast 3 to 5 years out. Things are changing very rapidly every day. Even in my own company, we have weekly meetings to go over AI, where it's heading, and so on. And honestly, it's changing more often than the weekly meeting. So we have kind of like what's going on today type things. What's new. And as far as AI skills, I mean, understanding first of all what AI is and how it can be used in the workforce. Is it going to replace jobs? Yes, in some cases. Other cases, it's going to enhance the jobs that be able to make people much more efficient. The other piece of it too is that AI itself, is, human in the loop with AI, which is right now, that's the commonplace, is that you don't trust AI completely because it can hallucinate. So as far as, what skills you would need is basically be able to interpret what AI is telling you to make sure that it makes sense, cross-check it, and also know how to use it, know how to, ask the right questions. They call them prompts. Prompts are things you put into AI, a search engine, and so on. Um, you have to understand how to create those properly and so on, and how to ask the question a few different ways. So that's, as far as those are good skills. Um, all right. Yeah. Okay. Another one here, growth strategies for small business. Again, with every business out there, small, medium, large, it's about how you embrace AI. Um, Again, I'm focusing on AI right now because, hey, that's my thing. Um, Regarding it, like AI for small businesses, again, being very careful using it and so on, but it could be amazing as far as like even like utilizing it to access your data. For example, have it formulate emails, have it go into a deep research on a company you might be interested in, or a prospect you're working with, and you want to find out more about them. For small businesses, it's great. You can actually do some deep research. When I say that, you can actually tell AI, it says, hey, deep research this for me. And it goes out and does some really nitty-gritty research on the item you want to research. For small businesses and so on, it's very useful. There are a lot of other things as far as like you can use Copilot within Microsoft environment. That's a safe way to go ahead and start analyzing your data. If it's an Excel sheet and so on, if you wanted to take that and make sense out of it, or even again formulate emails and so on. But for small businesses, utilizing it again, being cautious as far as what you put into AI. Keep in mind that the free versions and even some of the paid versions of the AI engines out there can go out to a deep learning engine. So you got to be careful you're putting no, personal identifiable information in there and so on. So again, being cautious. And you can even ask AI. All right. One of the ways to learn how to use it, ask AI itself. How do I use you? What are the best ways? And so on, and what I should and should not be doing. Um, how does AI fit into your overall business strategy and growth plans? That's a good one. What I would suggest there is that you need to plan on, you're going to have to embrace AI. If you don't, you're going to get crushed by that wave. You have to look at, far as what your goals are for the business, how AI can, fit in there. For example, with our business, we're a technical advising firm. We also have an MSP division, which is a managed service provider. And within that division, I have 5 delivery areas. One is simply called centralized services. And basically, that's the stuff, that's the machine behind the services, which does a lot. It does a lot. It's like a duck moving on the water. You don't really see it moving, but boy, it's paddling underneath. What's happening is that that whole thing used to be run by 2 people in our company. And when I say 2 people, it was actually we outsourced it. And it was a very involved thing, checks for backups, checks to make sure machines are getting their updates. And it's a very important aspect of it. Over the past year, we've implemented an AI bot. A bot is basically an AI agent that replace those people. So we don't need that outside service anymore. The centralized service is now completely automated. It has intelligence to it, and it gives us feedback on, it's much more efficient, works 24/7, and, our tickets have gone down to 0 rather than having a couple hundred tickets on the board all the time. So it's, extremely efficient. So that's how it worked into our growth plans. We're becoming more and more efficient at what we're doing. So our margins are increasing. All right. What is the best way to find the right digital tools for business growth? best way to do that, I mean, like even in my business, I have peer groups I'm members of, other MSPs, technical advisors around the world, pretty much, and definitely, even in the state that I'm in. And we run past, we compare what works, what doesn't with each other. So if you have peer groups, that's the first place to talk about digital tools for your business growth. Because what one business is using, they tried it and it failed miserably. It's important to know that ahead of time before I implement it in my business. So peer groups is a way to do it. Um, the other thing too, as far as digital tools for business growth, starting with like Microsoft's environment and using Copilot is a good start because it's a safe way to start. I would recommend that. Um, as far as educating your team members about AI tools, safe and secure, it's very important. What happens with that is that number one, you need to make sure it's ingrained in the DNA of your company as far as how to use um, use AI within the company. You want to create something called like an AI policy, which basically describes exactly how you're going to be using it within the business. Okay. And, as far as also very important too, is that you really want to get ahead of this because you don't want your employees starting to use AI without you knowing about how it's being used and what information they're putting in there, because that's going to end up causing a possibly data breach in the sense of, you an employee putting something out there that you really didn't want released to the public. Okay. Which LLM to choose for business? Are there any best practices you can share? Um, Again, large language, that's a large learning module. Choose for your business. Again, starting, a lot of businesses are starting using Claude, using ChatGPT, using, things like that, and, free versions, paid versions. Keep in mind, if you're using it, you don't want to put sensitive information in there. Okay. So regarding that, really doesn't matter what LLM you're using. However, being cautious about what you're putting in there. I would recommend starting with Copilot because it's more secure and it can be set up to be very secure in the sense of being able to see your emails and so on, and also give you a way to organize it, and also work within like any of the Microsoft products and have AI help you with that. Any other questions out there and things you'd like to hear about? Again, I'm the AI expert here, so I keep leaning back towards that. But we're talking about business innovation in general. So, anything you want to talk about, let me know.
No, great
Yes.
meeting you, Anthony.
Hey, Phil. How you doing?
Very good. So, I'm here for a variety of reasons, and I like the your initial discussion points about what we want to accomplish, and certainly you're in the so I was in the IT world too, and I'm back in it. We've created some innovative solutions for to make a difference in the world of special needs, and so this is the activity I'm working on.
Hmm.
One of the things that's important is for me is to share the message of reaching your potential. And so this is a good committee to help me reach my potential because I'd like to work on innovative projects. I love problems solving. And so in the world of IT, there's all these mindsets where we got to solve the problem. We got to work on this puzzle. And that's very exciting for me because there's so many ways to make improvements, and it's just finding the right leaders who are embracing not AI, embracing innovation and change, and just change is generally hard for people, and it gets out of their comfort zone, and so I'm hoping that we could have this committee to be like a mastermind brainstorming kind of thing and support those folks who have those challenges and issues that are ready to make a change as opposed to just talking about it.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's interesting. You're talking about people with disabilities. One of the things that we did many years ago, we partnered with a nonprofit, and I'm one of the first 35 accessibility experts in the country that took the test many years ago. And, 1 out of 5 people have a disability. And making the world accessible to people with disabilities is an amazing thing. It opens up a whole, world to them, as well as also a marketplace to businesses, an untapped marketplace I think it has something like $8 billion disposable income. You start looking at like what, like even like ShopRite, talked to them years ago about, hey guys, it'd be a good idea to put some online, where people can order online and get delivery to their houses and everything, because there's a lot of people with disabilities who can't get out, and they're like thinking about it and stuff, and then you have to make it accessible to people with disabilities so that our screen reader could read your screens. And but a lot of people didn't understand that. So that was a big thing, very rewarding. We actually helped make QuickBooks Desktop accessible to people with disabilities. I worked with India for 8 years, and we put like 500 accountants back to work. It was a wonderful thing. But besides being extremely rewarding, we had hired people with disabilities to actually do the testing for American Airlines and United Airlines. We had 21 people at one point with people with disabilities running, doing the testing. So again, understanding that this is being innovative in this world, very important. I mean, if and things are changing so rapidly, where people with disabilities can actually take advantage of now this innovation. And if, as one of the people I was dealing with said, if I was going to get disabled, this is the time to do it, because 30 years ago, even 20 years ago, it's much more difficult. Things were not as accessible as they are now, and they're getting better.
That was great. Thank you, Anthony.
Mhm. All right. Any other questions out there?
How do we grow this group?
We got to make it interesting. I want this to be something where we're going to get input from the members. I want to be able to address their questions, address the problems they're experiencing. And I mean, I have experts that I could bring in depending on any topic that comes up. And, regarding whether it's cybersecurity, business growth, if you're looking about even, first question I go in when I talk to a new prospect, or even my existing clients, I said, what's your exit plan? Exit planning is very important, because it might be, you're going to grow the business. You want to get to 5 million, 10 million. I want to maybe sell at a certain point. Understanding that, you can then, I can help a business pull some levers, for example, and maybe make their profitability from 13% up to 25% by pulling some simple levers and giving that advice to a business. Again, knowing their goals, because, doing it just broad-based, there's a lot of broad-based stuff we could just talk about, but then, actually doing a focused, maybe on exit planning. I have experts on that. In fact, I'm going to a luncheon later talking about that. So, again, looking, growing the membership and giving them what they need, what they're asking for. I think that would help.
We can certainly market that, Anthony.
Okay, let's do it.
Also, Phil, if you like to, discuss possibilities to join forces with Pro Education,
Proactive education, yep.
Committee and Strategy and Innovation Committee.
Yeah, so thank you, Kevin. So I'm the leader for the proactive education, and so this is an important topic for me to help the youth prepare for their 12th grade decision. Right now, we're not doing a great job in society to do that. The focus on youth is not supportive in any means, and there's so much opportunity to help the students with that decision that they have to make. But parents, there's no parent 101, there's no parent 102. We're all doing our best. It's like so we have best practices, right? We have experts. Parents aren't tapping into those experts when it comes to teen parenting and youth, proactive education and knowledge associated with what it is that they're interested, what can they be passionate about. But we're not exploring that. Like the whole exploration process is very independent and hopeful that it could occur. So in the world of innovation, this is untapped to make the youth experience much more knowledgeable and more prepared than we are doing it today.
Oh, absolutely. It's so true. I mean, I have clients in schools, and I've gone in and spoke to the kids, and also we spoke at BOCES. All right, we had our powerhouse committee go to talk to the kids at BOCES. They are like sponges. They wanted to know everything about, I'm talking about it from a business standpoint. What I would do is, if I was employing one of them, what I'd be looking for, their digital presence. I was starting to go through, and what's funny is that the teachers in the beginning of the talk, before they even got started, it told all the kids to put their phones away and listen to Anthony. First thing I had them do is take their phones out. And I said, well, I want to show you what your digital footprint looks like. I want to show you what Google knows about you right now. Okay. And they were like, jaws were dropping once I told them to go into their activity in Google. Shows them every place they've ever been since they had the Google account, mapped it out, showed them every YouTube video they ever watched, showed them. I said, listen, if it's free, all right, you're the product. Okay, so understand that, and also understand what the digital presence is. I said, as an employer, I said, I'm going to check you out before I hire you, and I'm going to look online, even though like technically I'm not supposed to do certain things. Employers will do certain things, all right, and it's important to be understanding about what your digital footprint looks like. So I was covering that with them, and also covering career paths. What I look for in an individual, besides looking at their experience and look at their resume, I'm looking for infectious learners. I want somebody that's going to learn, because this is aging. What you learned in school and everything is going to be outdated very quickly. What I need you to do is continue to learn. Okay, so that went over very well with the kids, and we ended up, I was with a few other people in this group, and we all talked about our experiences. We ended up with a bunch of kids around each of us at the end, talking about what their a lot of questions, but you're right on the ball with, there needs to be some kind of, you know, even if you have that stuff in place, it's got to be dished out to them and in a way that the kids will understand and embrace.
Yes, thousands of opportunities there, and the messages that you sent were very important. Because I in just in general, the continuously learning kind of mindset was not established in when I went to school. It
Mm-hmm.
was you were forced to learn
Yeah.
whatever it is that we're dishing out. There were
Mm-hmm.
and we talk about America as freedom of choice, and then you're a student and you're in this kind of prison setting, and institute going through this institution, and then not empowering students, not
Mm-hmm.
providing great leadership opportunities, not critical thinking. I mean, it was just such a gap, and we still do the cookie cutter thing, unfortunately. But when people from the outside share these valuable messages, and you would think that education would be excited for these kids to learn new things. And
Mm-hmm.
it's almost ironic that they're not embracing all the opportunities that we can share knowledge with our students. Now we're in lockdown mode where I can't even walk by a school and get questioned. It's one
Mm-hmm.
extreme to the other. Um, and it
Yeah.
was funny because I dropped my car off to get an oil change, and I was running by a school, and I was questioned. You're not supposed to be on school grounds. So one
It's
extreme to the other.
yeah, it's crazy. It really is that we have to live in the way we're living right now with that. But yeah, what we're raising right now with the schools and everything are good test takers. I mean, that's what we were doing back and I was prepping for the test. The day later, I couldn't remember anything I learned. If I had to retake the test, I probably would have failed. It was just prepping for that test. But now, learning how to learn, how to be an infectious learner is really what it's all about right now. You gotta embrace education all the time. It's like once you graduate, learning doesn't stop. And as far as like what certificate, I get asked all the time, what certification should I have and all that. Some basic things, but realistically, once you get the job and you're on, you're there, the employer is going to basically tell you what they need from you, and you're going to take it upon yourself in some cases to learn it, or they'll give you the education themselves. They'll tell you what training and so on is necessary that they'll offer up for you. But learning all the time, 24/7. I'm still learning. All right, I'm a boomer and I'm still trying to, keep up with everything. It's all right, Sam, I saw that smile. Hey, Chris, you there? See, you just joined.
Hey, Anthony. Good. Yeah, good morning. I spoke to Kevin. I apologize both to you and to everybody that showed up here. Actually, speaking of learning, I was at a conference yesterday, an AI conference in Chicago, and I got a phone call that my daughter had a bad interaction with my in-laws' dog. By interaction, my ex-wife was saying that the dog bit her. Um, yeah, and she's sick. So thankfully, it wasn't anything too serious. But when I heard that, I was like, "Oh, she's in the hospital." So
Hmm.
I made the 5 hour drive from Chicago back to Detroit in the middle of the night. And
Wow.
so yeah, sorry, my entire like last 12 hours has been completely derailed, and I overslept. And I woke up and I was like, "Oh my God." So
Completely understandable. Oh
yeah,
my
I'm
God.
sorry. Yeah, it's just been a crazy. So I woke up and I was like, "Oh, you got to be kidding me!" And then I joined. And you're talking about learning, and I was like, "Yeah, I was trying to do that yesterday, and then life just had other plans."
Oh, yeah, it's funny. It's so true. I mean, it's the work-life balance. That's another thing too. When my morning meetings, all right, with my exec group and stuff like that, first thing we talk about, right, on a scale of like 1 to 5. 5 means I'm all in on the company. I'm like, you're completely, there's no distractions. 1 means that I have a lot going on personally in my personal life, which happens a lot, and I let everybody know that right now I'm a 2 today. Okay. So I'm going to give like 40% of my time to the business. It's just because life gets in the way. Life happens. And that's something you have to understand when you're running a business and with your employees, that they might not all be there all the time because they got personal things going on. Even though you'd like them to be there 100%, I'm trying to be empathetic with them and understanding and work with them. And I have to know this also. If somebody's only going to be there about 60% of the time, I want to make sure there's another employee that can cover make up the time. But it's true. Work-life balance is something very important in a way. And what's funny too is I always tell my employees, and when I do my presentations, I said, it's like juggling, between life, work, health. And it's like you're throwing up these 3 to 4 balls in the air, all right? And the work one is made of rubber. It'll bounce back, all right, if you drop it. Same with the health one. I mean, you could drop it, it'll bounce back. The family one it's a glass ball. You want to make sure you don't drop that one. All right. You want to make sure you keep that one going. All right. If you drop it, that's hard to put back together. Okay. But work-life balance, very important.
Yeah, no, that's pretty cool. I've never heard it described that way. So yeah, if it's okay, I see it's not a big list of people, which is fine. First meeting, we kind of thought that would be the case. Who's on the call? Would anybody like to kind of catch me up? I know you and Sam already.
Yeah. Phil, go ahead, introduce yourself and what committee you're in.
Sure. So I also belong to the Americans Virtual, and it was funny, Anthony, you mentioned Long Island. So it's America's Virtual Chamber of Commerce. We started the proactive education. So proactive education is not generally talked about a lot. So I wanted to promote and engage folks in that world. There's so much we could be doing. And what's interesting is the the students don't know how much power they have because they're not using it. And so this is some of the messages that I share with you. I'm an independent college and career coach. I was in the world of IT, providing managers and executives data to help them make more informed decisions. I was in business intelligence, and then they had three superstars in the company, and they didn't no longer needed my services. So I departed, and then I said, you know what? I'm going to provide the same skills that I have with managers and executives, and I'm going to do it for families and parents and students to help them make more informed decisions about their future and their career. It's a wide gap. They're at a disadvantage. Their brains don't develop until they're 25. If I was revisiting myself at 15, I would just tell myself, hey, your brain isn't fully developed. You want to surround yourself with people who are older than 25 when you're making significant decisions. And that valuable advice definitely resonates with them. I even share with students, listen, if I get all these fourth graders in front of you, you are the experts associated with the years of experience that you have in school, and you can share that knowledge with them. You have valuable information. You are a subject matter expert. And when I ask them in the room before this conversation I have with them, how many experts in the room, they'll point to me and the teacher. They don't consider themselves experts at all. Their confidence level is really low because they're just being told what to do most times. And it's just unfortunate. And this is the proactive education element, is to get in front of this and help them identify where they can be productive, what do they really want to learn, what do they get excited about, and then share with them valuable resources associated with helping them with that path. I told a student she wanted to be a singer. I said, hey, I know professional singers. She wanted nothing to do with meeting a professional singer. She wasn't ready for that conversation with someone that she was looking up to at all. And so it's about being prepared and readiness. Sorry, I'm getting off track, but you could see the passion that I have to help people in so many ways. And when they're at a disadvantage, and we help special needs families, we created an entire directory, a special needs.help directory. Extraordinarily innovative. We're utilizing AI. We've got 30,000 professionals on it, and we launched April 17th. So this is one way that I reach my potential, is that I'm working on something that no one's ever worked on before, and this is exciting to me because every day we're creating new content associated with supporting families. There's no directory. There's helpful links on websites, but no real go-to directory. When you go to Google, you're just searching and hoping you find something, and you've got to dig and dig and dig and dig. And certainly AI has helped, but I've seen that you need 9 agents in order to nail it, the information that you're looking for. And AI doesn't create a directory for you automatically. Anyway, so so it's specialneeds.help. I know you wrote special needs directory. I'm not sure what the arrows meant, Sam. Oh, it's Sydney. I'm sorry.
It's Sydney, yeah. And also we have Sydney on the call. So
okay. I didn't. Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, so thank you very much.
Okay. Sydney, you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, yes, I'm here to help support most of the AVCCI meetings. So I usually just join and sit in and help however I can.
Oh, we definitely need you.
Oh, okay, awesome. I'm glad I'm here. Yeah, sorry for being a little late. I had to reboot my computer and I wasn't able to join at first, so my apologies.
All right, this is the first meeting. We expect bugs, and we're going to work them all out, and we're going to make this, run like a well-oiled machine.
Yes. But yeah, it's great to meet everyone. And yeah, I also joined Phil in the proactive education committee meeting, and yeah, they had a really great conversation. So I'm really excited to just see where everything goes. Yeah,
Cool.
thank you.
Cool. All right, so I'm finally in a place where I can put my camera on. So I had to get back to the little home office den area. Phil, pleasure to meet you. And Sydney, thank you for hopping on. Like Anthony said, I'm sure we'll be able to utilize some help as we go forward. Uh, Phil, definitely happy to have you on the call. We share some commonalities in our background. So as far as the world of analytics and business intelligence, in fact, I have a split commitment right now where I've gone from full-time down to part-time in my previous role as director of business intelligence at a consulting firm, and dedicated myself more to my company now, Stark Analytics, and just trying to grow that side of my professional world. But yeah, I mean, what you're describing is it's fascinating, because taking that same skill set and applying it just somewhere else that needs the impact, possibly even more. Because if you think about families and students, you think about these people that are not in the workforce yet, you're addressing the problem even closer to the root. You're addressing it. It's almost preemptive in nature versus reactive once they're already involved, and maybe warped, influenced, corrupted might be a strong word, by toxic workplace cultures that don't actually value or see their potential. So yes, I love it. I'm all about that. That's really cool.
Thank you, Christian. Yeah, we're from the same cloth, apparently, and that was great. The whole preemptive thing, Christian, you've nailed it. I mean, it's being prepared and supportive at the earliest stages, and right now we're not focused on that, but there is a huge opportunity. Because the families are generally at a disadvantage. They don't get these corporate data models. Like there's no decision-making class at their home for the kids. And so they're just sharing this valuable knowledge to students will have a huge impact on them. If they're embracing it, if they're interested. That's the challenge, is the level of maturity that they have. And they don't want to build relationships with adults. It's just not, it's just something that is really hard to overcome. And so if we're looking for innovative, if we could overcome that challenge, because they have the power. It's whether they want to utilize that power and engage in those relationships. Because in high school, they didn't teach you relationships at all. They didn't teach you how to make friends. They didn't teach you how valuable relationships are. And so this is a huge gap. They didn't teach you networking, how to help each other. There's no united front with the students to get them together to do something incredible. And that's one of the opportunities that we could create, is how do we engage our youth that they want to unite together to help each other accomplish their goals and dreams. It's not even on the table. But this is society changing if we utilize technology and innovation and get the students involved as part of the solution, because they're engaged in the world of technology, that's for sure.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure you've already stumbled upon this or thought about this. Why is it that there is such a shortage of innovation, technology, business in going in the direction, flowing towards that demographic? And that's because these students don't have the purses. These students don't have the big budgets. These students are not companies ready to sign proposals. And so it's tricky because, yes, the parents might have some money, or maybe the schools may have some money, but it's an indirect channel. And so from a business perspective, it's like, how do I monetize? How do I extract money for this thing that I'm going to do for the students? Well, man, now I got to figure out some additional steps. How do I get the parents to buy in and fund this? Or how do I get grant money? Or how do I get the schools? And so it becomes a more complicated problem to get money to fund these types of things. That's why it's so much easier to say, oh, forget that I'm just going to build an AI tool, wrap it around ChatGPT and feed it to some, barbershops in my area because they don't know anything about AI and they're starving to be on the bandwagon. It's so much easier to sell to businesses than it is to sell with a mission or impact to a group, especially one that can't actually pay you directly.
Yeah, so Christian, if we are able to attract the youth to engage in whatever application we develop to help unite them, sponsors will be coming, parents will be coming. So it's one of those challenges is that you've got to build it, and if they come, others will absolutely follow and come and pay for the service. Just like a Google. I mean, they went there was a search engine and they built it. It was the innovative. They got it. They got all the people, and we use the word Google all the time.
Yeah.
So same concept as the question is, do we have the interest? Do we have the innovative capacity? Do we have the interest from the students to participate in this? We don't have to pay them. Certainly, there's opportunities for them to have internships. Anyway, I'm a creative solution provider that there's definitely a lane if we wanted to pursue this. I think it's needed. Absolutely. Parents would love that the kids were all together and united on some productive element of an app that's helping them accomplish their dreams and goals. That's for sure. But that's it could be Disney World that may be interested.
Yeah. Hey, that's fine. Disney has money.
They do. And they're willing to attract every kid, every student to have them go to the new Orlando park, amusement park for being united.
Yeah, there's no shame in being in business with the mouse. It's a good business to be in.
All right.
Very
So
cool.
we're getting to the end of our time here. Thank everybody for joining, and we're looking forward to the next meeting and to get feedback from the members, especially, so we can definitely fine tune these going forward. Chris, anything you want to add at the end here?
No, I mean, again, apologies for last night, which was completely derailed. But I think that for the next meeting, and Phil, you tell me if you plan on joining a lot of these going forward, or like we should think about whether there's a guiding question. Maybe a topic might be too strong, but like a kickoff question that gives some shape to the conversation, unless I missed that in the very beginning. But introductions, talking about what we're doing, that's always going to be very fascinating, and that itself can lead to other conversation topics. I know that I'm part of it's a Friday AI council, and it is essentially a bunch of business owners that are deep down the AI rabbit hole, talking about things that they've learned and what's going on in the news. And every week we start off with one news item, like one current event that happened in the AI space. And then we talk about that, how that impacts our unique little niches in the world. So that's kind of the structure. As they pick, obviously, 2 weeks ago, the big thing was, oh my God, Fable is offline. What happened? How's that impacted you? Did you start using it? Why do you think it happened? AI and cybersecurity. So that was like the seed. That was the beginning part of the conversation, and it just branched from there.
Yeah. So any meeting that you're in, Christian and Anthony, I'm all in.
Okay.
You guys, I'm totally into it. I love what's the problem? What's the big problem today? And us working that is super exciting to me to help and identify opportunities for those who are interested in actually pursuing it. Because that's the downside, is that we're not providing any value if we're just talking about it. Are who's digging their heels in and saying, listen, I really want to solve this problem? And then I'm all for that exciting activity to brainstorm and support them to accomplish whatever that goal is that's productive and important to mankind of some sort, and or to their company that certainly is valuable and helpful to them. So I'm definitely in these. I'll definitely come to these meetings as long as Anthony and Christian are there.
All right, looking forward to it.
Yes, indeed.
Okay.